Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. If XRP is going to continue to be competitive as a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap, then it needs to hit some staggeringly high numbers this market cycle, assuming, of course, Bitcoin indeed will hit a new all-time high and other alts continue to go, including Ethereum. In fact, that's why I want to highlight this article from the Daily Huddle titled $15,000 Ethereum Price Incoming Predicts Hedge Fund Veteran Mark Yusko. Here's the timeline. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is not because we're super duper excited about Ethereum. Maybe some of you are. I mean, I hold it. I've been holding it since 2017. I'm mildly interested in it. But more so, I want to talk about it because of historically the degree to which XRP has competed with ETH in terms of market cap. So if ETH is going to hit this level, what do you think that means for XRP? Well, I've got some numbers calculated for you, but before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, XRP's 54 cents, Bitcoin $51,747, and ETH just a hair over $3,000. So market has been trending up for much of the last 24 hours. Crypto Fear and Greed Index 72 out of 100, set to update again shortly. It updates just once every 24 hours, so it'll be interesting to see where it lands. Perhaps the same number or slightly higher would be my guess. But let's get straight away into some of this interesting stuff here because, again, if you've been around for a while, you are aware that XRP has been number 2 in terms of market cap at a few points in time in history. I think at least 3 times. I don't know for sure off the top of my head how many times, but absolutely, it's been there. Especially if you go back to that 2017/2018 bull run, yes. And sure, XRP ran last, but when it ran, it melted faces. And it's interesting because the market cap peak for Ethereum and XRP, they didn't happen exactly at the same time, but the dollar figure was about the same. So anyway, check this out though, because obviously we didn't see that happen last market cycle, but what happened last market cycle? We got screwed because of the SEC. So it's not surprising that didn't happen last market cycle, but could XRP be playing catch up? And you know, it's kind of cool. You'll see as I get through this, even if XRP doesn't have the same peak all-time high because it's set back at this point and it's going to take even more time to catch up. And that's just a hypothetical. I'm not even saying that's going to happen, but even if, it doesn't need to, it just does like a much smaller fraction of where the expectation is for ETH to go, according to this particular hedge fund veteran, as he's labeled here. If this happens for ETH, XRP doesn't need to go that high. And so, yes, I'd love to see ETH and XRP fight neck and neck for that number 2 position. And maybe that does happen. Maybe that does happen. But I'm just saying, even if not, if it still is the case that a rising tide lifts all boats in crypto markets, then we're still going to see some insane, crazy price action for XRP, even if you have a low bar. Unless you think that a rising tide in the crypto market is only going to lift up like Bitcoin and ETH, which I see no evidence of that. The asset class moves in tandem here. Anyway, this piece reads as follows. The CEO and founder of Morgan Creek Capital, Mark Yusko, believes that Ethereum could appreciate to a 5-figure price. Yusko says in a new altcoin daily interview that based on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin ratio, ETH/BTC, ETH could go up by 410% from its present level in a scenario where Bitcoin ends up hitting the $150,000 mark. And I'll just pause to note here that although there are certainly analysts who don't think Bitcoin is going to be hitting a new all-time high this market cycle, for this year, or next year necessarily, most analysts do believe that's going to happen. And you're only talking about a little over a 2x for Bitcoin to hit $150,000. So I don't know where it will land if it does start running into a new all-time high. It hits price discovery. $150,000 though, not remotely crazy for Bitcoin to suppose that it might do that if we're going to see that type of volatility directionally heading to the upside. But anyway, here's his quote. I probably have no reason to go against what has existed for a long time, which is the ratio between Bitcoin and Ethereum. It used to be almost exactly 10 to 1. So if Bitcoin was $20,000, Ethereum would be $2,000. So let's say Bitcoin gets to $150,000 like I think it will. And let's say we don't go all the way back to a Bitcoin to Ethereum ratio of 10 to 1, but we go to, let's say it's 1.5. So that's an Ethereum price of $10,000. I think there are a lot of people that have that number in their brain. And a lot of people say, well, that's not enough. Let's say it gets all the way back to 10 to 1. Then that would be an Ethereum price of $15,000. So, comfortably, somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 for ETH. Now, again, like I said at the outset of this video, ETH is currently just a hair over $3,000, with the all-time high hitting last cycle, $4,861. So, potentially, according to Mark Yusko, could be as high as a threefold increase for ETH. So, just let me run some numbers by in terms of what this might actually mean should this come to pass here. So if you're talking about $15,000 ETH, that's a $1.7 trillion market cap. Now, mind you, that's higher than Bitcoin's market cap was at its all-time high. But of course, if we're going to see $15,000 ETH, you'd kind of expect that, because that would assume that Bitcoin's going to have a new all-time high with a much higher new all-time high market cap. So let's say that Mark Yusko's right, and Bitcoin is going to hit that $150,000 level. Well, that means that Bitcoin would have a $2.9 trillion market cap. So again, under this scenario, Bitcoin, $2.9 trillion market cap, $150,000. ETH, $1.7 trillion market cap at $15,000. Okay, well, again, these don't sound like crazy numbers. Again, that's just about a twofold increase from one high to the next for Bitcoin, about a threefold increase for ETH. Again, I don't make price predictions, just playing little hypotheticals here. Doesn't sound crazy though, right? Well, what the hell do you think that means for XRP then? Like, even if you have like a lower bar, like again, not a price prediction, I don't think this sounds crazy. Even if you're just talking about XRP hitting $10, which would be a massive increase, that'd be close to a 20-fold increase from where the price is now, a little bit less than that, but close to a 20-fold increase. Well, that would be a market cap of $540 billion. So again, we're talking about Bitcoin, 2.9 trillion, potentially. ETH, potentially 1.7 trillion. And for $10 XRP, that's only 540 billion. That's not a big ask. That's why I'm saying, like, I understand that it can feel impossible in these moments where we haven't been seeing big moves to the upside and people feel beaten down, and you look at the XRP BTC chart, oh my God, it looks terrible. It's the worst it's been in years. Well, yeah, but that happens every few years. Like that part's actually normal. And it just seems like it can't happen. But it can happen. It absolutely can happen. And consider that ETH's peak market cap, last market cycle, that's actually about what it was. It was probably maybe a little over 500 billion. I have to go back and do some quick math. But either way, it was around there. Yeah, that's about right. So you're talking about XRP matching ETH's all-time high of last market cycle. Now, if they start playing neck and neck again, and this is where it gets even more exciting. This is why, like, I think, some of these bigger numbers, that the higher your expectation is in terms of price for any crypto, including XRP, the less confident I am it's going to happen, because that's only logical. With each increasing dollar, I'm less confident because that's a bigger ask. That's just logic would dictate that, right? But I still don't think it's crazy. Like, if you're talking about XRP fighting neck and neck with ETH again in terms of market cap, where these things are going to, ultimately peak, like XRP matching this market cycle, it's not crazy. That could happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's totally reasonable, and a lot of people suppose it actually could get that high. Because understand that if you're talking about matching that one ETH, assumed all-time high market cap, $1.7 trillion this market cycle at $15,000. If that does happen, that would mean a price for XRP of somewhere in the neighborhood of about $30 this market cycle. That's not crazy. It has happened in the past in terms of, peak. Like I said, 2017 and 2018. If you look at the all-time highs for ETH and XRP, that's about where they were. It is definitely not crazy to think that could be happening in this market cycle. And look, markets just lag behind. A year ago, everybody thought Bitcoin was dead, but Bitcoin always leads the way out of this. And then Ethereum, people are kind of bitching, well, Ethereum's even been lagging behind a bit. Not that they had as negative a sentiment as what we've had in the XRP community and many other communities like Filecoin or HBAR or Flare. Like, pick a coin, son. There's just been negative sentiment in a ton of communities. Definitely particularly bad in my estimation in the XRP community. But that's always what happens before things start to move to the upside. So anyway, Bitcoin led the way. ETH's now following in the $3,000 range. XRP 54.8 cents. It's just moving in tandem with the rest of the asset. It just is. If you zoom out on a chart, you can still see it. And so we have this. I think it's fair to say XRP is at a much lower price today than it would be had the SEC stuff not happened, because that's a span of a number of years in which there was less developer activity, undoubtedly, than there would have been. To what degree, we can never know. Less people having invested their own money, less institutions investing their own money over a span of years. So, you don't fix that damage overnight, but you do fix it. And then it does seem like that's obviously what's happening. But that's why it's so cool and it's so incredibly impressive that XRP never fell out of the top 10 cryptos by market cap. It's number 6 today. That's some cool stuff. So it's not crazy to think that we could be seeing a much, much, much higher price for XRP. Now, of course, if Bitcoin's not going to hit a new all-time high, if those analysts out there with that minority position that say it's not going to happen, if they end up proven to be right, then I'm less optimistic we're going to see anything too exciting this market cycle, but for XRP. But even that's not a guarantee. Maybe XRP just runs anyway. You can't know for sure. Either way, like I'm in it. Like however long this takes, I'm on this journey. Okay, either XRP hits a new all-time high, and then I enters price discovery and I become enticed to sell, or I ride the bitch to zero. It's going to be one or the other. You know what my bet is. I think at some unknown point in the future, it's going to be worth way more than it is now. But these are not crazy numbers, and we are actually at that point where if you look at an XRP BTC pair, it looks like it's just terrible, and you can on social media see it. Historically, this is normal. This is what we want to see. In fact, to drive that point home, take a look at this. This is a post from chart analyst Leb Crypto, and he shared this XRP BTC chart because he understands how this works, and he wrote, "Here's a simple trading plan to ride XRP's next major bull rally. Low risk, very high reward. Alerts set on XRP BTC price and RSI. We wait for levels to be hit to take trades. Time is irrelevant in this strategy. You're welcome." And so what he's calling enter big spot position, you can see it's on the screen, that's what he wrote. And this is not me telling you to go do this. I'm just sharing with you what his opinion is here. He says when you can get one XRP for this Bitcoin price, how many zero? 0.0000747. When that's how much Bitcoin it costs to buy one XRP, that's when there's such a great disparity that it makes sense to just pile into XRP. That's what he's saying. And I shared this a couple days ago. There's this post from Crypto. It's another XRP BTC chart. And he's making the point here that when XRP looks awful on this chart, again, it's because it's XRP priced in Bitcoin. When XRP looks like complete trash, historically, those have been the times right before it rallies intensely. So, do you think it's going to be different this time? Because I don't. I don't think that makes logical sense. This is just something to watch for. And the multiplier effect, my God. Actually, Mark Yusko even notes, I think it says it in this article, to wrap this thing up here, what he said anyway. Yeah, here we go. On Ethereum's expected price performance relative to that of Bitcoin, the hedge fund veteran says, and again, this is Mark Yusko, quote, "I could see a bigger rally in Ethereum than Bitcoin, and that's kind of what you would expect in the pump part, in the final meteoric parabolic move. Ethereum has historically outperformed Bitcoin, and it probably should again," end quote. Exactly. That is true. Historically, it has. And why has it? Because there's less money in ETH than there is in Bitcoin. Well, there's less money in XRP than there is in ETH. Why wouldn't XRP outperform ETH and Bitcoin substantially? I think it will. Rising tide lifts all boats. XRP is one of the boats, son. It's a cryptocurrency. The market has decided it makes sense for XRP to be in the top 10. That's why it's been there for over a decade. So yes, when the market goes, XRP being a part of the market is going to go and will outperform these cryptocurrencies substantially. So even if XRP doesn't hit the same market cap high that ETH does, like assuming ETH hits that $15,000 mark at 1.7 trillion, even if it doesn't, we're still in for some serious fireworks. But I'm not saying it can't or won't. I acknowledge it actually could. If ETH's going to hit that high, you got a hot market. and money rotates throughout the crypto markets when that stuff happens. Yeah. So this is going to be like we're in the fun part right now, but it becomes more and more fun as time passes, unless those analysts that say that the top's already in for the stock market and for Bitcoin, if they're right, well, okay, maybe we get some fireworks, but it won't be quite as euphoric, in which case I doubt Ethereum would even hit that high. So we're going to find out together, but it's an interesting time to be in crypto, and I'll just tell you on a personal level, I am optimistic. I don't know for sure it's going to happen, but I'm optimistic that we're going to be seeing finally some impressive XRP price action. We'll get what we deserve and what we should have had, frankly, last market cycle. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.